For the first time ever, we are honored to present a rare and precious teaching on Mahamudra by His Holiness Chetsang Rinpoche, a revered master of the Drikung Kagyu lineage. His Holiness graciously bestowed these profound Mahamudra teachings in the serene surroundings of Almora, India, at a tranquil Drikung Kagyu retreat center. In Mahamudra, there are two kinds of approach: achieving the view through meditation, achieving meditation through the view. Fivefold Path Mahamudra is realized the view through meditation, for example, calm abiding, followed by insight by asking where is mind. In Dzogchen, first the nature of the mind is introduced, and then one meditates. This approach is for people with high capacity, which doesn't mean they are very smart, but that they have practiced over many lifetimes. These people don't need teachings. The moment they see the Guru, they instantly realize the nature of the mind. When they hear his voice or teachings, they instantly realize the nature of the mind. The essence of Varjar is like space free from the dust of afflictions, and therefore it is peace. For example, it is very hard and tiny to see, like one hair split into 1,000 pieces. It is so subtle that it cannot be defined by symbols or anything else. Varjar is the nature of emptiness. Like space, space has 7 characteristics. It cannot change good or bad things. It cannot be cut with a knife. It cannot be beaten with a hand. It cannot be damaged with a hammer. It cannot be obstructed. It has no center, no north, south, east, or west. It is uncompounded, free from all causes and conditions. The innate nature of the mind is an expanse of uncompounded nature, not produced. We cannot point to anything, for example, space, that this emptiness is not nothing. It can be seen. When His Holiness is talking, we can hear. Lord Dzogchen Samgon sometimes describes self-aware primordial wisdom as Rigpa stainless awareness. This kind of wisdom is pure, just like the Buddha sitting on a lotus. All sentient beings have Buddha nature, which is like a lotus in mud, but never stained by it. Likewise, all sentient beings are in samsara, but the nature of their mind is pure, like a lotus. Since beginningless time, it has always been free from afflictions, never having been in samsara, perfect, the nature of Vajradhara. It is absolutely free from all characteristics of elaborations. Therefore, it is peace in itself. Because we don't recognize it, we are in samsara. When we recognize and stabilize it, then it is nirvana. Through this stabilization, we purify all negative karma. All these are explanations, but the actual experience cannot be explained. If we use words, it becomes ordinary. All words are conventional and cannot capture it exactly as it is. Ordinary contemplation also cannot reach this only through practice. Naropa followed Tilopa for many years. One day, Tilopa said, "Follow me tomorrow, and I will show you the nature, mind." Naropa followed and followed until he was exhausted and fell down. Tilopa took out his sandals and hit him on the forehead, saying, "Keho, this is self-awareness wisdom. I, Tilo, have nothing to show you." At this time, through his devotion and blessing, Naropa realized everything Tilopa had said. Actually, this is the main verse. When Drubwang Rinpoche was in Tibet, he hid one secret text of Dzogchen Samgon on the other side of a mountain. After many years, he tried to find it, but only found one piece. It was this verse. Drubwang Rinpoche said this is the ultimate teaching. Base, all phenomena in nirvana and samsara are free from arising, abiding, and ceasing. That is the state of Mahamudra in terms of its base. This basic expanse of mind is free from all elaborations. Its innate nature has never been confused since primordial time. It is called co-emergent wisdom. Since it is all-encompassing, it pervades all phenomena of samsara and nirvana, beyond any change in the three times. This absolute primordial wisdom cannot be precisely established through recitations, symbols, or reasons, because all citations are still within the limitations of conceptual words. The wisdom of Mahamudra is absolute. Words are not good enough to establish Mahamudra precisely. The reason is that examining it is conceptual investigation, and by that Mahamudra can't be established. Similarly, Zen masters use certain hand gestures to gain some intellectual understanding, but to gain actual realizations, such gestures are inadequate. At the base, Mahamudra is absolutely free from samsara, nirvana, and the path, because such conventions are merely conventions. The path is irrelevant to Mahamudra because it is beyond cause and result. Because of failing to recognize Mahamudra, at the base it manifests conventionally as self, others. Therefore, Mahamudra transcends arising, abiding, and ceasing. In reality, it is beyond arising, abiding, and ceasing. It is the nature of all phenomena. Therefore, at the base, it pervades all phenomena. It is self-awareness co-emergent wisdom. Path. When explained through the path, we have view, meditation, and action. The view refers to the innate nature of the mind, which has always been free from conceptual thoughts. All the things that appear outside are projections of the mind. It is empty. The nature of the mind is emptiness. So the innate nature of the mind and all phenomena is unborn. Ultimately, all phenomena exist in the expanse of the Dharma Dhatu. For meditation, we have three categories: highest, middle, or lesser capacity. For the highest capacity, self-awareness becomes freed in the state of dharmata instantaneously. Like throwing a tied snake into space, it will uncoil itself. The confusion of subject-object comes to an end. When self-awareness is recognized, confusion ends effortlessly, spontaneously accomplished. For middle capacity, although she can attain flawless realization during meditation, there is no consistency, just like the sun shining through the clouds gaps, suddenly very bright, then disappearing. There is fluctuation, unlike those with high capacity, who shine brightly always. One must meditate in solitude. Do a 3-year retreat. From the Mahamudra point of view, there is nothing to meditate on. Simply maintain non-distraction and solitude. To stabilize, the text mentions 8 different methods. Awareness Rigpa is empty from primordial time. Set your awareness free. Always keep your mind free from expectations and ambitions, such as wanting something to come out of your practice. Free yourself from hopes and fears, such as hoping to gain good qualities and avoid errors in practice. Put them all aside. Keep your mind fresh, meaning not recollecting past events or anticipating future events, but remaining in the present fresh moment. Fresh also refers to the state that begins after the cessation of a conceptual thought and lasts until the arising of another conceptual thought. Set your mind in a state of clarity and awareness by freeing it from sinking and agitation. Do not make a conscious effort to block thoughts when they arise. You should not be against them. In this way, thoughts gradually manifest as the play of dharmata. Saraha said thoughts are like a crow flying from a boat. Finding no place to land, it eventually has to return to the boat. Do not follow the sense objects and the mind. For example, when we see a beautiful form or hear a beautiful sound, we normally become attached to them and then seek to follow them. Always maintain mindfulness and alertness. Jigten Sumgon gave an example of the kingfisher. When they are about to catch a fish, they are in complete alertness. In Mahamudra, thoughts are not purposely blocked, but one must spot the arising of thoughts. For lesser capacity, those who have not realized the nature of awareness in the state of dharmata have some intellectual understanding, but no experiential concrete realization. Dzogchen Rinpoche says this type of practitioner has not reached the pinnacle of realization. It is necessary to go through the gradual path of generation, completion stage. Through these gradual methods, he or she can experience calm abiding, insights, and bliss, such as physical and mental blissful feelings, no thoughts, clarity of mind, and the mind becoming absolutely clear. They may not attain enlightenment in one lifetime, but may attain it in the bardo or next life. With regards to action, higher capacity practitioners are indefinite. Whatever comes to their sight appears as dharmata, and their actions are not restricted. For middle and lower capacity practitioners, both have for different ways of explanation. First level. Until one attains stability and recognition of the mind, he or she should stay away from people, maintain silence, and keep whatever experiences or realizations they have secret. This includes the prayer beads and skull cup, which should be kept secret. Second level. Once mental stability is attained, she can practice awareness exercises, going into crowds, giving in, listening to teachings, sometimes engaging in ordinary activities, and sometimes going through painful or pleasant experiences. This is a way of testing the mental stability of awareness. Sometimes try to unify joy and sorrow, beneficial and harmful, in the mind and see how the mind reacts. Try to merge and equalize them. After equalizing, proceed to the third level. Perform actions of craziness, behave like a madman, and try to give up all conceptions of worldly appearances, breaking the rules, free from hope and fear. In this way, training can go for months or years. The siddhi is then accomplished spontaneously. Practitioners of all levels have certain actions in common. Always maintain devotion to the Guru. Always maintain love and compassion for sentient beings, and always be mindful. In this way, all should strictly abide by the law of karma. If one pretends to be a crazy yogi and breaks karma, the outcome is unfavorable. The Buddha said that sometimes even a compassionate person can be reborn as an animal. Result: fruition of Mahamudra, temporary and ultimate. At the fruition level, Mahamudra has no stages to attain, it is instantaneous. Mahamudra does not involve gradually going through paths. It cannot be presented in conceptual words, so the experience and realization are beyond thoughts and mind. It transcends all signs, qualities, and errors, as taught in the Tantras. Mahamudra is the absolute Dharma. Therefore, from the point of view of Mahamudra, there is no distinction between the person who sees it, the object Mahamudra to be seen, and the act of seeing. These three things are unified and indivisible. Thus, being free from these three concepts, there is no specific desire or sense of discrimination. It is a state of joy. In the state of Mahamudra, there is no distinction between the meditator, meditation, and meditating. So it transcends any conceptual, fabricated reference point. Therefore, Mahamudra transcends the distinction of action, actor, and acting. From this perspective, it is beyond all actions, efforts, acceptance, and rejection. At the fruition level, there is no result to achieve, no achiever of the result, and no action of achieving the result. At this stage, the person who realizes this will be free from hope and fear. It is a state of joy in the absence of hope and fear. Temporary result. Realize all phenomena as non-existent, empty, and blissful from primordial time. Ultimate result. Accomplishment of the four kayas and the 5 types of primordial wisdom. The kayas or wisdoms all refer to the same thing, which is the Mahamudra of the result. When we regard this state as a form, it is Dharmakaya. When we regard it as wisdom, it is the wisdom of Dharmadhatu. These names, like kayas and wisdoms, are from the point of view of others, not from the person who has the realization. These things appear to other beings, and they make these distinctions. So the word Dharmakaya is just a name, just a level. Therefore, the wisdom that brings the realization of the Dharmakaya is also a level, and is the realization of the view at the level of the path, not at the fruition level. Similarly, the wisdom of Dharmadhatu is merely a word, a name, a level, and the idea of realizing the state of Dharmakaya through the wisdom of Dharmadhatu is also not talking about the ultimate view, not at the fruition level. From the point of view of Mahamudra, there is no result like the 5 primordial wisdoms or the 4 kayas to integrate or achieve from somewhere to itself. The reason for saying this is because at the base level, it is non-conceptual and beyond the conceptual mind. Therefore, being free from the conceptual mind, there is nothing to achieve like the kayas. From the point of view of Mahamudra, the path is also beyond the conceptual mind, so it is not a path to achieve something externally, since it transcends both achieving and abandoning. There is no result to accomplish externally. When one becomes perfectly immersed in this kind of practice, then meditation becomes effortless, like learning to drive. After one becomes well trained, one is able to drive effortlessly. This awareness becomes purified at its fundamental level, and the confusion fades away. The reality of Mahamudra pervades all phenomena in samsara and nirvana, and therefore it rules all phenomena. This is the primordial suckness beyond conceptual thoughts, and it pervades all directions. Nothing transcends this reality. So from the point of view of Mahamudra, the word ultimate Buddhahood is merely a name. The conclusion. Although there is a base, path, and result, ultimately there is nothing as such. These are certain expressions of Dharmadhatu. They are none other than the miraculous display of Dharmadhatu. Therefore, everything should be decided at the very base. The base is perfect in itself, nothing to add. If one is unable to be sure that the base level is perfect, then know that the base and result are beyond specifications. You should be able to decide that the path level is a path. All phenomena, from the perspective of the base and path, are manifestations coming from the great compassion of the Buddhas. Therefore, it is said that the Buddha performs his activity through every noble thing. In this way, if you are still not able to decide that Mahamudra is the path, the next option is to recognize it as the result. If even that is not happening, you can simply be sure clear in your mind that all phenomena, base, path, and result are mere names and designations. Be clear in your mind that they are mere signs non-existent since primordial time. Because of that, they are free of elaborations of existence or non-existence, as they have not existed in the first place. So things that do not exist as existent or non-existent can't be defined or established. That which cannot be established cannot be perceived by the mind. Although it can't be perceived, it is not something that should be thought of as unperceivable. Therefore, Mahamudra is a state that has been clear since primordial time, free from the notions of existence or non-existence. Dear friends, we've reached the end of this profound Mahamudra teaching. May the pith instructions and key essence of this ancient wisdom resonate deeply within your hearts, guiding you toward true liberation. As we conclude, I invite you to join me in spreading positivity and kindness throughout the world. Let's cultivate a community that uplifts and supports one another, rather than perpetuating negativity. To help me continue sharing spiritual content like this, please consider subscribing, sharing, or offering a one-time gesture of super thanks support. Your kindness will enable me to create more teachings benefiting countless sentient beings on their spiritual journeys. Thank you for watching, and may the blessings of the Mahamudra lineage awaken our true nature together.